Anakin had visions of his wife, Padme, dying in childbirth, leading to his demise to the dark side. Anakin obsessed over these premonitions, but what if these visions were of Order 66 instead of Padme dying? Quick thanks to the voice actors, Red Sun, the Shapeshifter, and Nick Cortez. Their links will be in the description. Let's begin after the Battle of Coruscant. The first night Anakin is home in his bed with his wife Padme. His mind is flooded with visions of his fellow Jedi, his friends, dying at the hands of the clones. One by one, the screams of Obi-Wan and Ahsoka echo in his mind until he is thrust wide awake in complete shock at what he's just witnessed. He puts his head in his hands and tries to recount what he saw. He doesn't get back to sleep that night and reveals to Padme what he's seen. The next morning, a sleepless Anakin with bags under his eyes rushes to the council meeting and demands an audience. The masters let him in, and he stands in front of them, breathing heavily from fatigue.
Masters, you must listen. I've had terrible visions of clones turning on the Jedi, killing everyone in this room.
The masters are initially stunned and begin to whisper to one another. The council is doubtful at Anakin's revelation, but he tries to persuade them, mentioning how they are exactly like the visions of his mother that came true. Still not convinced, Anakin looks Yoda directly in his eyes and mentions how he had similar visions only months ago of countless Jedi dying.
Right you are, Skywalker.
Yoda explains to them how they've known the clone army have ultimately been created by the Sith, but until now, they've been unaware of the reason. Yoda is convinced Anakin's visions have some merit, which helps sway the rest of the council. They decide to entertain the idea of the Jedi dying at the clones' hands, and using their collective wisdom, they meditate on the matter. They decide that in the clones' current state, they wouldn't turn on the Jedi, but must be forced to against their will. It is Ki-Adi-Mundi who mentions the possibility of mind control. They determine the purpose of the clones is to turn against the Jedi at the right time, and they will do this against their will with a sort of mind control. The council has inadvertently discovered Order 66 without knowing its name. Who could have the power to do this?
The Chancellor, Palpatine. The Army of the Republic he now controls.
The masters all look at one another and it clicks in their minds. They know the Chancellor has stayed in office far longer than his term required. They discuss how to take this further and decide to act cautiously as they have no evidence. The masters decide they will investigate Palpatine further, but also begin preparatory measures in case Order 66 happens. Anakin is particularly taken aback as Palpatine is a longtime friend of Anakin's and is a sort of father figure. He wonders whether he's been taken advantage of this entire time. They agree to let Anakin help in this investigation and he heads back home. He tells Padme everything and she offers to look into the legislation and background surrounding the clones, whether there is any information hidden about their purpose and if there is any secret agendas. The Jedi have found nothing in their investigation, which is leading them to confront Palpatine directly. However, when looking, Padme discovers the contingency orders for the Grand Army of the Republic. A specific order that stuck out to her was Order 66, in which the clones were forced to kill all Jedi under the command of the Supreme Chancellor. Anakin brings Padme with him in front of the council, and she explains what she's found. Shock once again encompasses the room. Anakin was right, his visions had not failed him. Order 66 was real, and a threat to the Jedi. They must act quickly. Yoda, Kit Fisto, Shaak Ti, and Mace have a meeting later in Palpatine's office with other senators, including Ainli Team, Bail Organa, and Mon Mothma, and decide to bring up the issue there. Yoda and Mace ask Palpatine directly about Order 66, who is shocked to hear the Jedi even say it. He stumbles his words initially, but then attempted to defend and justify the use of Order 66, but this was a poor argument and everyone in the room knew it. The Jedi had defended the Republic for thousands of years. They wouldn't suddenly turn on it. Yoda politely and sternly asks Palpatine to remove the order from the clones' database. Palpatine flatly refuses.
It is not possible.
This is his only way to exterminate the Jedi, and he cannot give it up. He begins to get nervous and starts to sweat. The other senators in the room can feel the tension building up. Mace senses the dark side brewing and goes to grab his lightsaber, but Sidious is too fast. He ignites his lightsaber to cut off Ailey Team and Mon Mothma's heads. Bail Organa jumps back in shock as the Jedi ignite their lightsabers to make a move. Sidious sends lightning at the Jedi who bolstered their defenses and use all their energy to block.
Die, Jedi.
In a flash, he cuts off the lightning and throws his saber towards Bail Organa. Sidious needs Bail dead because he's a witness to him being a Sith Lord. If he kills him, Sidious can push the narrative that the Jedi were attempting to overthrow him in front of the Senate. However, Yoda jumps over to block the strike and force pushes Bail out of the room. Sidious spits out his disgust and knows the odds are against him. Mace jumps over Sidious and starts raining blows upon him. Fisto and Shaak Ti surround Sidious and attack when the opportunity arises. Yoda attacks from the front. Sidious has to strengthen his defenses against the Jedi attacking from all sides. He has no opportunity to use Force Lightning or any of his other special abilities. He can't stand there forever, however. The Jedi will eventually get through. He needs to call upon his Sith alchemy to gain advantage in the fight. He goes to use the Force to pull out his second blade in his office, but Yoda uses this chance to take off his hand. He turns in anger to strike towards Yoda, but is sliced in half and killed by Shaak Ti. The Jedi have won. The Masters and Bail Organa take stand in front of the Senate. Organa is one of the most highly respected senators, so people trust his word when he reveals Palpatine was a Sith Lord the entire time, and the Jedi graciously defeated him. He reveals the truth about the war, how it was all planned by Palpatine to ultimately lead to the genocide of the Jedi Order and ultimate control for himself. After this, the war slowly ends with Republic victory. There are a few skirmishes, but nothing major. There is a new bond of trust between Anakin and the Jedi Council, especially Mace Windu, who never truly trusted Anakin until now. Anakin is granted the rank of Master and takes his position on the Jedi Council. A few weeks later, Padme gives birth to Luke and Leia. Anakin has no choice but to reveal the truth to the Jedi. Initially, they are a bit upset, but he is ultimately allowed to stay in the Jedi Order because of his role in taking down Palpatine.
Troubling, this news is. However, the Chosen One, you are. Defeated the Sith, you did. Debated, we did. All agreed you can stay, we have.
Anakin is the Chosen One, and his power in the Force will only grow. He may even reach the rank of Jedi Master of the Order with his wife Padme by his side, and his beautiful children also strong in the Force. If you enjoyed this video, you have to watch What If Padme Amidala Was a Sith Lord, or What If Darth Plagueis Killed Darth Sidious. If you want to support the channel, consider becoming a member for $1 a month, where all proceeds go into making videos for you guys. There are many great benefits to becoming a member, so check it out on our channel page.